Live from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The one, the only, the unexpected thrill of a lifetime podcast. I'm your host, Dan Fisher. We got a great show for you today. It's the March 22nd show. We're back. It's episode 8. Can you believe it? I just feel like just the other day I said it's the March 1st show. You hear that spooky background? I don't like it. I'm starting to get scared. Oh boy. Anyway, thanks for listening to the show. I hope everybody enjoyed the episode last week with my buddy Alex. We had a couple laughs. We had a couple, and you name it. We had laughs, we cried, we ate, we drank water, and we had a good time. But I'm excited to come back. This is my lucky number, the number 8, episode 8. By now, we got the flow down. We're doing our thing. We got spooky noises. We may or may not be recording in a haunted house right now. Oh shit. But like I told you before, we're coming live from the lab. This is Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, University City. I'm not going to get much more specific than that, but let's just say we're rocking and rolling. And we got a lot of great features. We got a good show, as usual. We're going to move it right on over to what I like to call, we are now part of the Knights of the Round Table of Contents. So if you like a table of contents like I do, you can consider yourself one of the knights. Like I said, it's episode 8. Today we got a little bit of the Philly buzz, kind of. We have the pizza tour, as usual. You're thinking, when is this guy going to run out of pizza? I haven't even tried 2 of them yet. Well, I'm not giving up on pizza. We're going deep on pizza. We got lots to say about that. We've got As Seen on FFN TV. We got the good old FFN News. And then during the meet, we're going to be talking about, obviously, movie of the week, my recommendation. We're going to talk about the Grammys a little bit, a new podcast I'm listening to. I got a new song that I'm working on that I'm going to tease/preview. And we're going to send some good wishes and quick recovery to our buddy Drake. And that's what we're looking at for today. We are Knights of the Round Table of Contents. Anyway, I'm just gonna move it right along. Pretty much, there's like I said, not too much going on in Philly. We're open outdoor dining, 25%, I think, and there's museums open up, and you can go to the art museum, like I said. But there's also something that's pretty neat to check out. It's called Greens Grow, and there's one in North Philly and one on West Philly. And what this place does is they are like a fully sustainable place. They do a lot of farm-to-table stuff, a lot of organic stuff, and they're really big on like educating the community, getting people involved, churning the dirt, planting some stuff. It's good knowledge, and it's good for the community. So I follow them on their social media, and they seem like a really good place. I want to get involved and do some stuff. They even do some stuff now and again, like coordinated like trash pickups of like certain blocks and stuff, just to keep things nice. And I'm a fan of that kind of thing. Moving on to the pizza tour. we're just dashing right into it because, so we got to trim the fat once in a while, keep the show fresh and do some new things. Anyway, the pizza tour, if you're from Philly or you come a lot, you'll know Lorenzo's Pizza. It's a $5 slice, but this thing is massive. I mean, it's like half the size of your laptop. If it might even be bigger if you have a small laptop or a tablet. But this is a big piece of pizza. They only take cash. It's one of those operations where we only take cash around here. It's easier for the books. We don't have to get the bank involved and all that. Yeah, well, you know what? That sounds like it's a front. Shit, I hope I'm not spilling the beans. If you don't hear from me, it's probably because Lorenzo's coming after me. But he's got a couple locations. The one I like to go to is on South Street. You can just walk right up to the window. You get it on like 3 paper plates because it's so fucking big. They also have that at the airport. They have it in, I think, the Reading Terminal Market, but definitely in the new live casino resort that I told you about before. And, the place is pretty nice. It's pretty nice. But I would definitely give it a shot. Lorenzo's Pizza, on the scale, I think, I get criticized about my rating system. They're like, Dan, I've never heard you give a 3 or whatever. And, I say out of 10. Lorenzo's is pretty fucking good. But I'm going to give it 8 slices out of 10. And here's a little Philly kind of insider knowledge kind of thing. Apparently, some of the locals do this. If you go across or down the street to Jim Steaks, my favorite place to get a cheesesteak, if you get a cheesesteak from there and then your buddy goes to Lorenzo's and gets a piece of pizza, what some people do is they basically wrap the cheesesteak in the piece of pizza and then eat it all at once. And it's supposed to be, well, obviously a lot of bread and cheese, but I don't know. I haven't done that yet, and I still don't think I'm going to. Yeah, it's just we'll see. I mean, I'm not gonna count anything out. Nothing is off the table, as Chuck Schumer says. But anyway, we're gonna go over on to FFN News, and since we already got the music going, we're gonna do the ad of the week, and you've heard me talk about all kinds of skincare products, all kinds of wellness routines and diets and fad type things and other products just to aid in just the well-being and eating of your own health. Anyway, today I'm here to introduce the Tannin Bed. That's right, folks. That's TANN'. If you don't want to go tannin, why don't you go tannin? The Tannin Bed hooks up to your own existing bed frame, and basically what it does is it has a small light that mimics the sunlight. And what it does is it's not that bright, so it doesn't keep you awake, but it shines that little radiation bulb right onto you, and you slowly tan over the course of an 8-hour sleep. And as an added bonus, you'll be able to tell when it's time to wash your sheets. That's right, the Tannin Bed illuminates any sort of spill or stain on your sheets. So you get to slowly tan while you sleep with a little light on. Don't worry, it won't keep you awake for too long. And then you also have the added bonus of always being up to date on the status and the cleanliness of your sheets. That's right, it's the Tannin Bed. Let's go tannin. We'll probably see a commercial for that product in the next couple weeks. But now that that's over, we're going to move on to the actual feature, FFN News. Oh, I love it. So many great products to sponsor this show. If it weren't for those sponsors, we'd be running on fumes. And this is probably the most casual news program ever because I'm drinking a local beer of sorts while I read this. It's Thursday night and I got work tomorrow, so just having a little end of the night nightcap, as they say. But anyway, here we are with FFN News. I'm your host, Daniel Fisher. Our first story of the night is stimulus. That's right. If you're an American citizen and you make under 75 grand a year, you got stimulated. But studies show that 80% of Americans spent the stimulus money before they even got the check. A lot of people are having hard times. FFN News. We did a survey of children and find that yellow snowmen just not quite as fun as regular snowmen to play with. That one is pretty believable, I must say. FFN News Animals. This one reinforces my own belief. Studies show 90% of lions say zebra is the tastiest. I mean, come on, look at it. An elephant's probably good too, but I mean, they're wrinkly and old as shit. I mean, I still say the zebra, I think, is the animal to go for. And a development on my previous rant about zebras, I found out that there are some zebras in Texas. So the Odyssey continues, and I'll let you know what happens with that. Oh. Well, now we're going to move it over to movies. It is FFN News Movies. Critics say the Coming to America 2 audience not diverse enough. If you were a black family and you're a fan of this kind of comedy, this was pandered right to you. I myself didn't find it that funny. There was a lot of strange flashbacks, and I think they waited way too long in between the first and the second movies. That being said, still go watch the first one. Very, very funny. FFN News Royals. The Royals reanimate dead corpse to join anti-racism fight. They needed everything they could get to fight off this latest scathing reporting that they've been faced with. Well, they still receive a hand now and again, but I found it interesting that if you live in Ireland and you own some land, they automatically give you the title of Lord. So even if you have a small, tiny piece, they will call you Lord, your name, whatever that might be. I could be Lord Fisher one day. Who says I'm not already? Anyway, FFN News Politics. The Pillow Man, Mike Lindell, says he hasn't been home in 2 months due to the fear of the Big Lie ending. That's right, he just can't go back to reality, and some question if he is even afraid at all. Maybe he just likes living from hotel to hotel room. I read online recently that he said that he went from crack addict to CEO. Maybe leave that crack addict stuff in the past, man. It's just not worth getting into. President Trump, still grappling with post-presidency life, insists he deserves higher ratings than Tucker Carlson and the vaccine. He said, "Listen, folks, I still think you should get the vaccine. It's a tremendous, tremendous vaccine, but I should be the one that gets the credit for it. Not the scientists, not sleepy Joe Biden, and not Mike Pence. It was all my doing, and I might still fire Fauci." Anyway, that's all we have tonight for you on FFN News. We'll see you next week. All right. Well, I think things are going pretty well so far. Pretty smooth, pretty neat. Yeah, okay. Anyway, it's my favorite part of the show where I just get to vent a little bit and just rant and do whatever. It's called The Meat. All right. Episode 8. Echoing through your eardrums, your car, your earpods, your brain, your mind. Open that shit up. Seriously, if you're listening for the first time, you're probably like, wow, this is interesting. What's with the echo? But listen, I'm here to be your friend and to try and guide you and to try and let you know what my mistakes are and what kind of good pizza to try. But I can only do so much, and I can only do this once a week. And I just started a new job this week that has kind of cut down a little bit of my free time. That's right. I resisted them for a long time, but I am a little Amazon boy now. I'm out there delivering your packages, and it's a little tiring, but it's great. 4 10-hour days, nice benefits. You get to just go off on your own. Nobody checks on you, and all you got to do is just make sure the packages get where they need to go. It's an interesting job, and I'm sure I'll have many great stories about it. But now I can say what probably a lot of you can't say. I work for the largest company in the world, and that gives me a little bit of a tickle and also kind of a sour feeling. So more on that next time. So anyway, I've been listening to a new podcast lately. It's called The Office Deep Dive with the guy that plays Kevin. He does this show where he has some people on, the director. He's had Jenna Fisher, Steve Carell, Ed Helms, Stephen Merchant, on, and they just kind of, like it sounds, they dive deep a little bit into, really real specifics. And one thing that I learned that was pretty interesting is that guy, Greg Daniels, he actually made them. When I say them, I mean all the Office ensemble cast members. He made them sit at their desk and do a half an hour of work each day before, at some point, Dwight or Michael would burst out and be talking about whatever their, silliness of the day is. And, yeah, it's pretty interesting. I like it. It's relaxing. It's not too long. It's not too deep and stuff. And I'd recommend giving it a shot. I think it's pretty good. But anyway, like I said before, best wishes and speedy recovery to Drake. We took him to the vet yesterday. He was having a little problems with one of his limbs, and we've been sending him good energy and good vibes, and giving him his meds and taking care of him. So hopefully by next week we'll be doing a lot better. We got Peppa here. Peppa's like the security guard when I do this show. Anyway. We're going to read from the Book of Madness in just a minute, but first of all, we just had St. Patrick's Day, and that came and went. I had no idea about it, totally off my radar. I'm only a little bit Irish, I think. Hey, sometimes I like to do a Shrek off, and I say, hey, everybody, let's have a Shrek off, and they try and do their awful impressions of him, and I go, hey, donkey! Yeah, I bet you hated that. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, leprechauns. What is the deal with leprechauns? I mean to sound like Jerry Seinfeld, but, like the leprechaun from the Lucky Charms commercial. Why is it that these cereal mascots, they can't ever have the candy. They're always chasing them, getting chased and stuff, and they're like, oh, give me the cereal, and they can't have it. It's like they're fiends. Like they're sugar fiends. Like there's some kind of subliminal messaging there. Like, kids, you gotta have this cereal because even we won't let the Leprechaun try it. It's all for you. Just get your parents to buy it. And don't you think these Leprechaun guys seem a little, I mean, I don't mean to sound like, I'm not judging or anything, but he seems to be a little fruity. He hangs out around a rainbow the whole time, and he loves gold. He's like gold member, I've tried to find the pot of gold several times, and it's just really hard to do. You start driving, and it looks like the rainbow's running away from you. Well, anyway, that was deep thoughts with Jack Handy, I guess. Next thing I want to talk about is the Grammys. Now, the Grammys, I didn't watch them at all, but I was pretty happy with some of the things this year. Now, I don't know if I said it on this show before, but if you know me in person, I was saying all year last year, God damn it, Thundercat is my new favorite artist, and he's the man, and I love it. And I also deemed It Is What It Is the official phrase of 2020 because everybody was saying it. And Thundercat made an album called It Is What It Is. And wouldn't you know, he won his first Grammy for it. And I felt pretty proud. And my household was cheering on some others like Harry Styles and Flying Lotus and the Strokes for their first acceptance. If you get a chance, check out their reaction. They had some technical problems, and they found out like 2 minutes after everybody else. And let's just say magic is real. But I was happy with that stuff. Of course, Taylor Swift got one. She, she gets one. And all that. No diss there, but it was good, and I was just happy to see, some people that I root for who are, not so mainstream finally get some recognition. But that is that. And lastly, before we change the song and move the show in another direction, just going to talk about I talked about music. If go and listen to this album, It Is What It Is by Thundercat, you will not be disappointed. It's a 2020 album. If you're looking for a place to start with the album, listen to Dragon Ball Do-Rag. That song is so smooth, but just listen to the whole thing from start to finish. His albums are so cohesive and so easy to listen to, and you're going to be thanking me if you actually give it a shot. It Is What It Is and Drunk are both very good. But now we're on to movies. I got to give a shout out to a movie from, I think, 1994, one that I used to watch over and over and over and over as a kid. Twister, with Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton. I got to tell you, that movie holds up, and it's kind of a scary movie, not in the traditional sense, but you're pretty scared of Mother Nature by the end of it. I mean, I don't know. I think that movie's really well made. But don't take my word for it. Check it out for yourself. Alright, so we talked about music. We talked about all the other stuff. Now we are going to read from the Book of Madness. If you haven't heard of this part of the show before, it's let me see. I think this is the song I wanted. Okay, yeah, that's it. All right. So my dad wrote this book called The Book of Madness. Madness is, I guess, supposed to embody any kind of frustration or bad experience or just things that drive you mad. We heard the opening, I guess you'd call that monologue. We listened to the poem of Pizza Hut madness last time. And now the second page actually is a reference from the Bible of the word of madness. And it's 2 Peter 10-22. By abandoning the straight path, they have gone astray and have followed the path of Balaam, the son of Bozer, who loved the wages of unrighteousness. 16 but received the rebuke for his transgression. A speechless donkey spoke with a human voice and restrained the prophet's madness. These people are springs without water, mists driven by a whirlwind. The gloom of darkness has been reserved for them. For uttering bombastic, empty words, they seduce by fleshy desires and debauchery. People who have barely escaped from those who live in error. They promise them freedom, but they themselves are slaves of corruption, since people are enslaved to whatever defeats them. And you know, what this kind of says, I didn't come here to preach to you today. That was a reference to Coming to America. But really what that says to me is, people can get entrenched and bitter and just unhappy in the jobs that they choose. And I think it's very important to use jobs as a stepping stone, even ones that you don't like. As long as you keep in your head that in the future you're going to do something more that you like, or you're going to move forward into doing more things that you like. And, and I think what that's saying is it's a path of madness of doing something that is unjust and untruthful to your own nature. So you probably saw the evil carousel name and thought, boy, this guy's probably not going to read from the Bible. But it's included in the Book of Madness, so that's all you get for this week. Next week, we're going to dive in a little bit more of that. It's pretty much the ramblings of a 40-year-old man who, is probably just a little bored and a little to be continued. Anyway, that's that. I have some new things to talk to you about. If you're paying attention, and you're probably not, maybe you are, I don't know, I am, but we haven't had a Friday short in a while. I just kind of let that slack for a little bit. Like I said, I'm a little busier now and stuff, but I want to keep the podcast going every Monday. I just want to build up that back catalog, but I'm still working on some new and exciting things. I know a lot of you love Einstein, the condescending robot. He's going to be making an appearance soon in a new song that I'm coming up with. And it's going to be pretty much him, degrading the human society and just, how great and smart he is. But anyway, I pretty much made this whole song on, not this one, but I'm going to play it in a second. This whole song on GarageBand. I'm pretty proud of it. I'm just going to come up with some lyrics over top, and I am going to talk like the condescending robot. My name is Einstein. So, this is the song I came up with. I'm going to play a little bit of it, and I think you're going to be impressed. It's a little funky. Here we go. Ooh, check this out. Greetings, humans. This is Einstein. I am going to shine a light on every stupid thing you have ever said. Pay attention and get excited for my first single. All right. That was just a taste. I'm not going to play too much more because, well, it's a little bit of a secret. You're probably like, damn, that song sounds good. But you're going to hear more of it probably by next week. I'd like to have that as I want to come back with a good, strong Friday short, some new music, and just, just do that. In the meantime, I'm going to play the end of the show song because I'm feeling like just wrapping it up there. But as an added bonus, we're already at 30 minutes. I was going to cut it short. I'm going to play the end of the end of the show song, and then another song that I've been working on, just acoustic, no lyrics or anything like that. And it's called Sitting on a Bridge. If you know me, you know the song from a long time ago. And it's just something that I've been working on, and I just want to finally put it to rest by recording it and making a good version of it. So anyway, thank you so much for listening to the show and checking us out. You know where to find it. Every Monday at 9 a.m. it premieres on YouTube. You can sit in a little premiere kind of box and chat with other people that are watching it, if that's a thing you like to do. Or you can watch it any other time. You can listen to it on Spotify, Anchor, Google Play, Public Radio, I think it's called, the podcast app. And, pretty soon we're going to be on a couple other ones. So we'll see how that goes. But this is the end of the show now. The show now. Thank you for listening to me now. Thank you very much. This is Sitting on a Bridge. Enjoy and have a good week.